they're making brown rice vinegar. First, brown rice is washed and soaked in water for about 5 hours. Then it's steamed for 20 minutes. The steamed rice is spread on the table to let it cool down. Then, something is added to it.
우리 토종 누룩입니다. 다양한 효모균들이 고두밥을 먹고 식초를 만들어내는 것입니다.
The rice is mixed well with leaven and placed in a jar. Then, water is poured into the jar. During the first 7-day period of fermentation at 25 degrees Celsius, the yeast fungi is turned into alcohol. Then, mother of vinegar containing acetic acid bacteria is added, and the vinegar is left to ferment at 35 degrees Celsius for 40 days more.
5% vinegar solution. We have our distilled water. We have a 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide solution. We have our phenolphthalein indicator, an Erlenmeyer flask, and our burette tube. Start by gathering 5 milliliters of my vinegar solution. So using a pipetter, I will drop 5 milliliters of vinegar. To that, we will then gather 20 milliliters of distilled water. So now we have our 25 milliliters of solution, 5 milliliters of vinegar, and 20 milliliters of water. And to that we will add 5 drops of phenolphthalein solution. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now notice it clouds up a little bit, but if you swirl that around, it will go clear because phenolphthalein is clear in an acid solution. And now we will begin the titration process by adding some sodium hydroxide to our acid solution. You will notice that we are going to start seeing pink, and as we swirl it, the pink will disappear. We don't want to go too fast because we don't want to go past what is called the end point. The end point is where the pink color stays, and we want to find that one moment when that end point is reached where the pink color remains. The pink drops along the side of the beaker where the splashing occurs remain that pink color as the phenolphthalein reacts with the sodium hydroxide, realizing that phenolphthalein is clear in an acid but will be pink in a base. There we go. Now we've got the pink remaining, and that is the end point of our titration. And now we're going to read the amount of NaOH that we used in this titration, and that gives us a 44.4 milliliters, reading the bottom of the meniscus of the reading on the burette tube, 44.4. So this neutralization reaction includes acetic acid, HC2H3O2, plus sodium hydroxide, NaOH, which ionizes into Na plus ions, sodium ions, plus acetate ions, C2H3O negative, in water. And our equation, or our values, we have 5 milliliters of the acid. We are looking for the molarity of the acid. We have the base is 44.4 milliliters, and we know that molarity to be 0.1 molar. Our equation is NBVAMA equals NAVBMB, but because the mole ratio is 1 to 1, we simply have to do VAMA equals VBMB. So using the algebra and canceling out the milliliters, we get a molarity of 0.89 molarity, or molar. And for 5% vinegar solution, the molarity should be 0.87. So we're pretty accurate here.